Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Diego Castro. The government of Timor-Leste rejects the request for asylum of suspended lawmaker Arnie Teves. In a statement on Tuesday night, the Foreign Affairs Department says Timor-Leste's Interior Ministry confirmed to the agency that the country has denied Teves' application. The DFA adds that the Timor-Leste government gave the suspended lawmaker 5 days to depart from Timor-Leste. The lawmaker may also file an appeal during this period. Asylum is the protection that could be given by another country to an individual who had to flee their original country due to fears of persecution or harm. If this is granted, the individual may remain in the other country. But earlier on Tuesday, Justice Secretary Boying Rimulya said Teves does not deserve to be granted asylum. Rimulya said the Philippines wrote a letter to Timor-Leste to block Teves' application. The suspended congressman is the alleged mastermind in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Ruel Degamo.
Well, there's a special provision in law for that. If you want to seek asylum, usually just for political purposes. But we don't see any political reason for him to seek asylum in Timor-Leste. It's really for not wanting to face the consequences of certain actions by which he is being held to account for.
President Marcos is currently in Indonesia to attend the 42nd ASEAN Summit. But the president says he has also made it his personal mission to speak with officials of Indonesia to continue the request for clemency for Filipina Mary Jane Veloso. Veloso has been on the death row in Indonesia for over a decade after she was arrested back in 2010 for smuggling heroin into the country. But Veloso has maintained that she was a victim of drug trafficking. In a press conference Tuesday night, Marcos said the Philippines never stopped asking for a commutation or even a pardon for Veloso. But he said Indonesia has told the Philippine government that they are only implementing their own laws. Still, Marcos assured Filipinos that he would continue calling for an executive clemency for the convicted Filipina.
Ganun pa rin, we haven't really stopped. I always at least bring it up na baka sakali magbago. Sa ngayon, ganun ang mga position natin. Is that yes, we agree, we understand that he is convicted. We understand that the law in Indonesia is that way. But nonetheless, baka makahanap tayo ng paraan. Iuwi na lang namin yan. Kami na magpaparusa sa kanya, whatever. But anyway, to ask for clemency.
Marcos also vowed to highlight the Philippines' interest during the summit, including its stand on the rising tensions in the South China Sea. The president says it's important for ASEAN member states to agree on a position on the issue.
Parang inevitable, unavoidable yung subject matter na yan. Dahil pare-pareho na mga membro ng ASEAN, siyempre it is a grave concern to all the member states of ASEAN. So it's considering that we also agree on the concept of ASEAN centrality when it comes to regional concerns.
GCash says all funds of users affected by reports of unauthorized transactions have been returned. In a statement, the mobile wallet reiterated that its customers did not lose their funds on GCash. It added that the app is now up for service and that people can safely proceed with their regular transactions. Digital Pinoy said it had received nearly 200 complaints about unauthorized transactions. According to the group, these GCash users lost more than 6 million pesos in total amount. One tech expert believes that the mobile wallet may not be held liable as this was a case of individual hacking.
Nangyayari itong ganito pag yung mga user nagiging biktima ng phishing. So ibig sabihin nag-input sila ng account, nag-input sila ng credentials nila sa mga fake na websites at fake na mga app. So kaya nananakaw yung data natin. So pwedeng nabigay nila yung account nila sa mga kaibigan nila. So maraming possibility. So kasi kung GCash, halimbawa GCash mismo ang nahack, hindi lang ganito ang mawawala. Mas malaki pa yung mawawala sa GCash mismo.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The National Irrigation Administration says there is enough water supply for irrigation despite the allocation cut from the National Water Resources Board. The NIA said farmlands will have enough water supply for the cropping season since reservoirs in Bulacan were able to replenish supply after it rained in the past couple of days. Water allocation for irrigation had been slashed to 10 cubic meters per second, down from 30 cubic meters per second until May 10. After that, the allocation for irrigation will be suspended until the next cropping cycle in mid-June.
Pero hindi na ho talaga kami humingi ng additional na tubig ditong Mayo kasi umulan naman po sa Bulacan. Enough po yun para masustain ang ating standing crop.
A House bill raising the cash gift for Filipino centenarians to 1 million pesos has been passed on third and final reading. The current Centenarians Act of 2016 provides that Filipinos who are 100 years old will receive the 100,000 peso cash gift. But under the proposed amendment, senior citizens who will reach the age of 101 will get 1 million pesos from the government. That's on top of the 100,000 already given to them when they turned 100. Aside from the cash gift, centenarians will also receive a letter from the President. The National Commission of Senior Citizens will implement this measure once it is passed. Yesterday was a busy day for Team Philippines in the Southeast Asian Games, as some of the highly anticipated matches happened on Tuesday. Let's start with Gilas Pilipinas. Gilas started its redemption campaign back to Southeast Asian hoops domination with an annihilation of Malaysia 94-49. Brandon Ganuela's roster led Gilas in scoring with 15 points, while Justin Brownlee had 11 points. Meanwhile, the Philippine women's volleyball team is off to a rousing start in its bid to end an 18-year medal-less drought. The Filipino squad routed the Cambodians in straight sets on Tuesday. The Filipino Lady Spikers will get their first acid test later today against regional powerhouse and perennial silver medalist Vietnam. Moving over to gymnastics, make that 3 gold medals for Carlos Yulo in the SEA Games. Yulo made up for his silver medal in rings by capturing the parallel bars gold medal, while teammates John Ivan Cruz and Juancho Miguel Besana ruled the floor exercise and vault apparatus. In football, the Filipinas defeated Vietnam 2-1. However, a 5-1 win for Myanmar over Malaysia in the other game means the Philippines misses out on the semifinals. Let's check out the medal tally so far in the SEA Games. Thailand takes the lead with 40 gold medals, while host country Cambodia slid to third spot behind Vietnam. The Philippines sits at fourth spot with 25 gold, followed by Indonesia. And that's it for this hour. Join us again at 7:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.